Talked about cleaning things up from the last game, and a couple of guys who took penalties wound up scoring. Can you just talk about general accountability with this team being part of your little point streak?
Again, I think that it's a good sign when your team recognizes that there is things that you need to improve on and things that are imperative that you improve on if you're going to have success. And, they've been saying the right things, and now you have to live it. And that's the most important thing is we want to be honest with ourselves, and we want to be committed to growing our team. You don't grow unless you can accept that you do have faults, and we all do, and they were willing to work on them to make them better.
Where did you see the most improvement from the last game to this one?
Just our overall work ethic and our ability to get on the puck. We were much more energetic, I would say. We were fortunate, obviously, they played last night, and they're a dangerous hockey club. And, we were able to stick with it even though they scored the first goal. It didn't seem to deter what we were trying to do.
Richard Panik making it real difficult not to move him up the line.
Yes, Richard, again, he finds ways to provide that offense. And, tonight he got shortchanged a few times in the first period. I think I only got him out there 3 times. And then in the second, it was one of those where, the line ahead of them extended their shift a little bit too long, and then I didn't really want to play them against Datsuk or Zetterberg tonight, and so that's where they got cheated a little bit. But we tried to go with them in the third, and he scored the big goal in the second period for us, stepping off the bench. I know they were complaining that it was an early change, but they had 6 guys on the ice. They should worry about their own bench before worrying about ours.
Does it say anything about your team, Randy, that Detroit won the first 2 games of this series and you guys bounced back and won the next 3?
Well, again, I think when you have a rival and you build these rivalries and you play one another, and we recognize they're a team that's ahead of us in the standings, and if we're going to chase these teams down, you have to take points against them. That's imperative. And now we've been enjoying, the luxury of being at home, and we have one more game here and another one on Tuesday, and then we start to really get into a heavy road schedule. So we've got to keep the ball rolling at home and maximize our opportunities for points at home.
Now, Randy, this team was very tentative at the beginning of the year on home ice. Seemed very, very comfortable now as they have gotten on a roll here at home. Yeah,
again, I think it's all part of the process, and I think there was an event that took place, and I think it was the 9-2 beating that we took at home. That's changed our group since then. If you look at our record and the goals against and the things that we've been able to accomplish since that point, that was a low point in the season for us. We didn't feel very good about ourselves. We were embarrassed. We lost 6-2 the game before, and then we got kicked at home 9-2, and we got booed, and we deservedly got booed at home. They made a conscious effort that they were going to change things from that point on.
Stefan Robidas is now +10. Where along the way did you see his game evolving into the comfort role that you see him playing at now?
Well, the one thing about Steph is a competitive spirit that he seems to display, and the bigger the games, the more he competes. And that's really what he's been about all his career. And we knew that it was going to take him a little bit longer than normal with a missing last year or the broken leg, not having training camp, and broke his leg twice last year. And he took extra time this year to make sure that everything was 110%. And now we're starting to see the reality of what kind of player and what kind of impact he can have in your lineup.
When you guys added Panik, did you know that offense or goal scoring would be part of his skill set? Or?
Well, he was a skilled player, and I didn't really know him. That is something where our pro scouts and management made the decision that they thought he was a player that could come in and support our lineup and possibly move up. And that's the great thing about guys like Richard, that that there is more there. And because he's in this situation right now, doesn't mean he's going to stay there. And at any given time in the game, you can feel comfortable that you can move that player up if things aren't going the way you'd like up and higher in our lineup. He's an interchangeable part, and he's a dangerous player, obviously to play in the situation he's playing.
It's unusual, you're 17 hours now from puck drop tomorrow. How much does that disrupt the daily routine?
What we've tried to do, we've taken on the mantra of it's 6 periods. So we try to approach each period as one little segment. We have 6 of them in a back-to-back. So we're preparing ourselves now for period 4. There's a long intermission between the next one. And that's what we asked our players to make sure that they took the proper nutrition, spent some time in the on the bike, get rid of the lactic acid, refuel, go home, have some rest. We'll meet tomorrow afternoon. We'll come in the morning. We'll get ourselves ready for a much different game, I would suspect, than what we saw tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Right.